There were protests and riots right here in Scottsdale. In fact, this looks a lot different than it did yesterday morning. All the windows boarded up. There was broken glass here yesterday. That has since been cleaned up. I want to show you what is the same. You see right over there, this is Camelback Road. It is still shut down between Scottsdale Road and Goldwater. The mall, you have no access to it. I've seen police officers at every single entrance here. They're not letting anybody inside the mall because this is still a crime scene. So new this morning, we want to show you the 12 people Scottsdale police arrested. Take a look at this. They are accused of rioting and looting. One of them is a minor, so you're only seeing 11 of their mugshots here on the screen, all the ones here in their 20s. Now we want to show you new viewer video of some people appearing to steal items in this area. These ladies look like they have a bunch of purses in their arms. And we also know that the crowd busted out windows at Crate and Barrel. We have video of someone setting off fireworks as well. We also saw people carrying rifles. Scottsdale police says the rioters came prepared with their own rocks, chunks of concrete, and gas masks. And we want you to see this. Products were locked away in the Apple store, but they still broke inside.
And arrests were made, and arrests will be continued to be made. So I appreciate their desire to protect their property, but it doesn't help us at all to have more guns on the street with people that may or may not know what authorities they have to take the actions they're thinking about taking.
Well, it's a contrast. There's a lot of negative things out there right now. We're in the middle of a pandemic, economic crisis, and to see the beauty of community come together, it's humbling. It almost brings you to tears.
So you're just hearing from the property manager here at this strip, right across the street from Scottsdale Fashion Square. He tells me businesses are already hurting because of the coronavirus, and yesterday he was really moved by the amount of volunteers who just showed up without being asked to help these businesses clean up their stores. So again, back out here live, you can see we're right by Sprinkles. This is a cupcake shop on the corner of Scottsdale Road and Camelback. Again, they were a victim. They got broken into, and I was also told that the thieves went ahead and took the cupcakes out of the vending machine. So real quick, I want to show you the Apple store. We're right across the street from the Apple store. All of the graffiti, all of the profanity has been wiped off the glass, but you can still see that it is blocked off with caution tape. So looking ahead, Scottsdale police planning to refine how they handle situations like this. Coming up, we're going to hear from the police chief again about exactly how he thought everything went down yesterday and what they think they could do better. Back to you.
So driving through Scottsdale is going to be a lot different look for sure as you're getting through there. I mean, it was really hard to see all of that happening in Scottsdale over the weekend. But again, all of this outrage is sparking because in direct response to what happened with George Floyd, people wanting justice in some cases, this is how they are expressing the pain that they're feeling right now. Maria, thank you. We'll check back in. And meanwhile, the governor's statewide curfew went into effect last night at 8 o'clock. We do know there are a lot of questions this morning about what that means for you. So 3 on your side, Susan Campbell joins us now to help break down what we need to know. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, this curfew is actually pretty limited, according to the attorneys that we spoke with. You can still go to restaurants. You can still go to stores. This order will prevent, though, even peaceful protesters from gathering at night. Governor Ducey says he announced the curfew in response to these violent protests and looting that happened over the weekend. The statewide curfew now in effect through the morning of June 8th. But there are a lot of exemptions. These are some of the things you still can do even after the nightly 8 p.m. curfew. You can go to work, you can attend religious services, get food, care for family, friends, and pets, meaning you can take the dog for a walk around the neighborhood. Here's where the exemptions get really broad. Private businesses are allowed to stay open. That means you're allowed to go to restaurants and stores even after the 8 p.m. curfew. The executive order also specifically points out that people can get medical care or flee dangerous situations at any time. And the ACLU of Arizona says it has serious constitutional concerns with the governor's order, saying in a statement, such actions restrict the rights of protesters and will undoubtedly lead to selective enforcement in Black and brown communities. We urge the governor and other elected officials across the state to seek a less restrictive approach and to meaningfully engage community leaders to address longstanding concerns with racist policing practices. Now, we know, according to the governor's order, if you violate this curfew, you could face up to 6 months in jail or a fine of $2,500. Unclear at this point how this is going to be enforced from community to community around the state. Back to you.
And that's what it comes down to, is what these communities and officers do. But again, thanks for explaining that, because I know there was a lot of confusion with folks. So it won't be a problem if you are thinking, am I okay to go to work today?
Yeah.
You're okay.
It doesn't sound like much of a curfew as far as how we define curfew. That's when you stay in the house or you stay out of the public and you're supposed to be at home. So this is not exactly that, right, Susan?
Right. For all intents and purposes, you can kind of go about your daily life. This order specifically mentions streets, sidewalks. This is talking about people who are gathering to loot, to riot. This is an effort to kind of just give police, what the governor says, an effort to give police an extra tool to help maintain order.
So it's specifically for protesters, it sounds like. Susan, thank you.
That's the way it's written,
Yeah.
pretty narrowly with so many exemptions. So there's a little bit of room for a little wiggle room for people to just continue their daily lives.